All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are going to continue listening, meditating to my new book, which is Being the Supreme Authority. And, if you're new here, welcome. Check out the other videos. You can catch up. For everyone else that's staying tuned, let's just keep going. Something I want to start with before we go into the next part of the book, the script. We're going to do another morning, noon, and night, conversation. And the way that I want to look at this, I call it meditation because I'm like, what's the word for it? The way I actually would like to rephrase what this is, to me, it feels like the visceral experience when I listened to this on my own, when I was doing it on my own. I said it was like 6 months ago, whatever, that I wrote it. To me, it was a process of, it's a transmission, right? It's like a download of my higher self, the version of me that not only has what I desire and has all parts of me integrated, but I'm very unabashedly myself. When I was writing this, it was such and it still is, a unification of parts of me that got so lost somewhere because it wasn't safe. And, if you knew me in my teens or my 20s, early 20s, before the big heartbreak, I'd say, it was such a marker for me. But there was so much trauma, yes, but there was also so much resilience and confidence and there was obviously a lot of desperation to get out of what I was in, but there was so much power. There was so much I know I'm meant for something so much bigger than this, and I will do whatever it takes. Now, where that got misconstrued, and something I want to talk about before we go into this next transmission, is so much of my power and strength became, I need to get out of this. There are some horrific things going down 24/7 in my life. I'm constantly under attack by everything, everyone. I mean, it's horrific. Get me out of this. I know I'm meant for something more, and it's I'm not going to make it if I don't get out. I ended up going to school in Australia. I went to the other side of the world. I was get me out. And that power was so based, obviously, in survival. And when I'm recording this right now, we're going through some really wild shifts. There's a lot of shifts. There's a lot of contrast. And there's a lot of, the way I view it is so many limiting systems, people, so many limitations that are coming to the forefront. And I made a whole nervous system reset, which I think we're going to be posting the full thing. If not, it will be in the courses, but we'll post some. I did a little bit of that yesterday, and then I made another one today that I'll be posting to really activate the sacral, the place of our willpower, right? And a huge willpower issue I had to work with, that this download's going to work with as well, was what is it like to command my reality? To no longer be passive, because that was something that happened, but then to command it also in a place that's not, because when I used to command things, it was so based in force and intensity, because it was desperate. I was I need to make this happen. I need to make the money. I need to get across the world. I need to make a life for myself so I don't have to go back to what I came from. And obviously, when you build a whole life out of escaping, it is a little bit of a house of cards, right? I didn't know the law back then. And so when things fell apart for me in my mid-20s, it was a breakup. It was a bunch of things. It was my job. It was so many things. It was a lot of memories coming back that I was oh, I really didn't want to remember any of that. I really wanted to forget what I came from. And when it all started coming back, I went very passive. I mean, people call it dark night of the soul. I think I've had a dark night of the soul for forever. But when I kind of went into my yoga stuff, my meditation stuff, and went full on, I did do one of those paths that was lose your ego, lose all this, and got caught in that for a little bit, which was For women, I don't recommend it. Luckily, I found Tantra, but there still was this part of me that saw all that urgency and all that like force and masculine energy that I had as a bad thing. And so I like really renounced it and became very passive and became very like, oh, I just meditate and I do this, and I created some really great content, but it didn't have all of me, right? There wasn't that edge in there, there wasn't the ability to command reality, which is what to me law of assumption became this beautiful like union of all this tantric stuff I was learning and all these, stillness and like peace and a lot of, I definitely did a lot of work with my own feminine energy. But then when I was reclaiming the law of assumption and reclaiming the part of me that's like, no, you just assume it, you command it, and you don't react. And, surrendering or releasing the 3D, it's not a passive thing. The control just goes within, the power goes within. It's your ability to navigate, to witness your minds and your heart and your body, and then to revise. Like there's still very much a discipline. And when you can come into confidence with that, when you can laugh at it, when you can, and you'll see in this transmission what I'm getting to, when you can get sassy with it. Like when I was doing these transmissions and like building up that conversation with what I wanted again, and I was like, wait, what does the bratty version of me say? What does the overly confident, even arrogant version of me say? Because those parts of me that I did have as a teenager when I was younger, like they got squashed and they got oppressed, but at the time I didn't care. Didn't even care. And I was like, I need that part of me back, like really, really badly. And so as I was playing with this, and like even when I was going over the script, I had like, all right, am I going to share this? A part of me was like, oh, people are not going to like this. And these are the little voices we have to watch for, right? If we still have voices within that are like, people out there won't accept me or love me or approve of me if I act like me, we are only limiting ourselves, right? People will show you whatever you decide they're going to show you. And so a huge part of manifesting our wish fulfilled and coming into our authority is being like a-okay with all parts of you, being okay with whatever your wish fulfilled is, and being okay with commanding that on the inside, right? And then if it starts to express on the outside, when it's integrated like this and people are like down with it, it's very empowering. It's very exciting. We'll get to parts in the script where I do use celebrity examples because I was like, who are people that are, very unabashedly themselves and they're loved for it. And they seem like the exception to the rule. Like, what are some really strong women? I always obviously go to like Rihanna, but like, it's like, what are some really strong women that, obviously they've faced opposition, but they own that. They transmute it. They don't ignore it. They don't pretend it's not happening. And when we get to that part, you'll see it's fascinating to look at like famous people, the people that still try to do the like, I want to be digestible, I want to be what other people want me to be, versus the women that were able to say, no, like, here's everything, even the dark stuff, even the really dark stuff. And the amount of power a woman has that's able to own like a very haunted past or, parts that are like supposedly not socially acceptable. The power in their art, the power in how they are, they're so self-possessed. It is just, for all the opposition there is, they're able to sustain, they're able to grow because they're true to themselves. And with law of assumption, to me, it's like the more you own who you really are, as God of your reality, as the operant power, all the parts of yourself and what you really want, and give it to yourself because you're the only one that can do it. I mean, that alone, the feeling of that wholeness, to me, is what we're all seeking, is to really feel that. And then, like, of course, it shows, and that's dope. We love that. It's great. But so much of this journey I've been finding is getting these parts of me back that I didn't even realize I had, like, shunned. Like, I didn't realize how much of my manifesting had become passive. So much of it became about, like, manifesting for other people and pleasing other people, like all my people pleasing stuff all the like, honestly, like servitude stuff that I was taught to do when I was young was like completely put into this practice versus, no, I'm just going to give this to me. And even when I share this now, it's like my intention for myself is like, I'm just going to share me. And the right people will get down with it. The right people will know what to do with it. And trusting that, you know, as I get in more of my own power, no matter what that looks like, because like the whole authentic process of reclaiming who we are, it's not clean cut, it's not polished. And that's what makes it fun and that's what makes it real. But as I do that, right, these words hold more power. And then you're going to make it your own. And then you give yourself the power. And so my suggestion before I start playing this is, again, find the parts of you that even when things are like going wild out here or in your manifestations, instead of going passive, instead of going into defeat or powerlessness, and that's okay, again, listen to yesterday, or we'll be putting one out too to help with that nervous system reset. But what would you need to hear, right, from yourself, from your person, whoever, like with that confidence, with that assurance to be like, that does not faze me, or that is phasing me right now, but like I know it doesn't actually matter. Like getting to a place where you really can be unbothered, but it's authentic to you. What gets you there? What allows you to laugh at it? And that you always want to make it your own. Okay. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. We will continue on tomorrow. Just something to end with. What I'd be curious about is like, yeah, what is your language? What is your conversations with yourself from your person that finally frees you from like that state of, oh, I can't say that, or I can't do that, or he's like the excuses, the justification, the rationalization, the like, is this okay or not? That's up to you. It's completely up to you. So I want you to give yourself full permission to command your reality, because that is actually what's happening. What is the version of you that when you see unwanted, instead of it deterring you, you transmute that, you take that power and you take it right back. And you go back in and you give yourself what you want tenfold. And you know it has to show up the next day because you're the only cause and effect. All right, play with it, let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.